For this lovely new moon, I come to you as a divine feminine 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group with Maria's way of doing channeled guidance. And that is integrating and including the beautiful co-creative collective. We don't create bullshit, some of us. Others, well, we integrate it in a way that, Cusco's, well, I'm not impressed by Cusco's. You heard about that one. So, again, welcome aboard. This is actual spiritual self-help for personal development of people who want to be their self. That means, yes, I like to use your human name, please. Your first 3 years of life, they matter. And if you say, I found it hard to believe, I'm going to say, yes, Cusco, thank you so much for stopping by. See you later. There's a Venus, a goddess of May somewhere, or some other Cusco for you who's really amazing. I laugh all the time. More and more and more. I get humored by the minute by those not Fibonacci brains. Okay, so with that being said, welcome anyone who is of the 5D collective. I want to honor the 5D name, Christ. Christ consciousness. See, I'm here thanks to Christ. This beautiful Rumi. I don't like everything about Rumi because, anytime you're accentuating pain makes me think about, I want to do personal development, Maria. Wow. And I don't meet people like that because I'm not one of those pushy human beings who says you have to do emotions like a person. No, I say there's a Zen master with laundry somewhere for you. And he, unlike when Albert Einstein shares, he gives a problem to somebody like me, because I'm like, now you just gave somebody who whines at doing personal development an excuse to say, I can't do it, I have laundry. And then you hear about people saying it's confusing for those who have childhood trauma to be told, love yourself first. For some of us, it's not confusing. I have a name, it's Maria. I'm a differentiated whole 3-year-old heart. Before we get started, I'm going to bow down for a minute. It's not in shame. I don't have that button. I'm going to be serious for a second. I have plenty and a buttload of compassion and understanding for anyone who wants to tell me about human suffering. What I am pretty much aware of is a bunch of people using the whole unkind, evil, bullshit excuse of humans are limited everywhere and anywhere. And every time I hear it, my ears are like, okay, there's another one. And they bit the dust and they're so uninteresting. My brain's just like flatlined. Anytime I hear about pain, you have to suffer. Nature is suffering. Okay, so I don't come from that path. There are some of us that we have the path of love to enlightenment. Thank you, Jesus. The only man who had to actually do this thing. It was funny as he picked me up by my ear and I said, okay, I'm laughing at myself, Jesus, don't worry. I know I was a drama queen for just a second though. Come on, give me a break. I can have a drama queen moment. So I'm not a drama queen or a king, but I do have the depths of the emotional experience and I have the mind's eye of a 5D mystic. So Christ consciousness, I heard of 5D a long time ago. At least it feels like a long time ago, but it never feels long enough. This new moon. So becoming who you are gets paused for the people who don't know that their emotional plane can also be paused. And that's because, thank you, Patrick Tiahan. As he says, you didn't get lost, you got paused if you haven't had any of that childhood trauma stuff. Also, your emotions, not lost, just disconnected. And before you get online with any of them, you're going to have to be in the fetal position with a good therapist. And I'm not kidding with you right now, because I've seen a buttload of people think they're healed from trauma as they weaponize psychoeducational words, block each other, say no contact, and basically get rid of romance used to be for some of us. Luckily, there's people, men and women and days. I don't know any, but I know there are those on this lovely new moon. It's 2024. I'm sure they're like, yes, we all got it. Science and spirituality, they come together. And the only ones who aren't on board with the program, what was it? Albert Einstein, stay away from the negative people. They have a problem for every solution. Anytime I hear anyone say humans suck, it reminds me of when I said, you're a human, right? That means you're saying to yourself, you suck, right? No, I'm not. No, yes, you are. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, fine. You know what? I'm going to go to the mules who want to drink water because I'm not drinking your Kool-Aid shit. I mean, I'll drink Kool-Aid. It'll be by my selective process of, okay, you're trusted. Yes, come in. You're trusted. Check. You're in. You're in too. Okay, so we get to be picky. Who's we? The women and men and theys who know healthy self-worth. Nope, you're out. Nope, you're out. No, I won't tell you though. I'll just completely, oh, I'm so humorous today. I completely ignore you to the extent of actively, consistently, contingently communicating. Because if there's one thing, ladies, now, right now, I'm going to have to talk for a second as an empowered woman because there's something I need to say. If there's one thing, masculines, which are not only men, look at my eyes. See, I don't like to stare at people like this because I am flawed and imperfect, but one thing I'm not, yeah, what was it? I'm not fooled. What was it, Sadhguru? If you think you can half-heartedly love someone, there is no love. It is either 100% or zero. And you know, when you're all in, you're all in. That's why polyamory. When you got oversoul and twin flames, yeah, you're not going to be picking solo poly. Come on over. It's good to be a polyamory person in the 2024 year. We would be called, no, we still get called things. You can get called whore, masochist, you name it. Then you got men telling you why men don't text you back while not sharing with you that they could go to good therapy, because the fact that you feel contempt and disgust towards me and then shame tells me that you didn't have a good time. I'm so sorry for you. I most certainly did have a good time, and if I didn't, I will not repeat it ever again. I'll be like very humble, very modest. No, I won't come and tell you how awful you were, because I don't want to be that woman. And I will just say, nope, we're done. Thank you for the time. And why? Because none of my business to inform you about anything. I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And by the way, if you don't text me back, I'm not going to shame you, because I'm going to know means you need therapy, which means you're a variety of unkindness. And I don't want to have anything to do with you at that point, because I can't be sure of what's going on in your left mode, and I don't want to know. Yucky. Yeah. So with that being said, here's what we know also. Kelly McGonigal, PhD. Being connected to your own values. Yes, I got a heart body and a value body. Makes you less likely to get stuck in a way that you're unable to see the opportunities that are available. Yes, so that's why a pacha spots pacha material. And those are masculine. So if we don't keep you with a cord, no, there's a door right there. Actually, I want to watch as you fly high. Now, if you fly away and you don't come back, it's okay, because I'm flying. You got it? Okay, cool. So let's go. New moon, beautiful day, beautiful day. Lovely Dr. Daniel Siegel shares what it is like to have freedom when you are complete consciousness. Now, he doesn't know that I've known complete consciousness my entire life, but he did inform me as I got the honor to ask him a question and more. And he said, Maria, I think you need to differentiate more, because I was explaining to him how it is when I'm working with people with personal development, spiritual self-help, and when I'm giving guidance, when I'm channeling, when I'm doing tarot, when I'm also picking up on the collective, because we have themes. So you should know August is a beautiful month for me. I did have to get through the part of where these stubborn donkeys that don't know how to distinguish between good human being love choices. So how to love yourself first, which doesn't mean, ladies, come on over. Let me tell you something. As you get older and you hear all these women laughing and you think, what the hell? How old are they? I mean, I know I'm 44, but it makes me go back in time as a teenager when I talk to women and they're like, you're emotionless. And no, I'm not. I'm just not sad about having a breakup. There's all these fish out in the sea. Didn't they tell you? Don't you know love? It's everywhere. It's bountiful. What year do you live in? The medieval times? Are you actually for abstinence? No. You know what? Let's educate. There are those who don't know what love is and to have a good conscious lover experience. And then there are those who do know. And it's called I can be selective because I have a good gut. So I know who's in it for the long haul and who's not. And if they're not, it's okay, because they're emotionally unavailable, which makes them that unkind business of they don't know how to love themselves first. They didn't get a good example. Means they don't know regulating their nervous system. I'm not going to teach you. In fact, where were you? Let's go. Where's lovely Patrick? Right here. We can't demand. That's for the people who don't have their childhood yet up front. Okay, we cannot demand that our partners help us emotionally regulate while projecting our childhood abusers onto them. Yeah, I'm not the parent that didn't give you secure attachment. You don't need to take it out on me. Oh, I forgot. You're a mammal and I'm a mammal. So I know how to self-regulate. You don't, and you know how to throw rocks at me. Luckily for me, it's not active rocks. And I will notice you don't know how to be yourself because you're not making it fun to hang around you. You're making it more like, I don't know what you're doing anymore, but this sounds like it's a problem for you to be around me, so I'm going to go. Okay, and that's why we put ourselves aside. Oh, Rabbi, please, you need to stop. Anyone who's a feminine will tell you we don't actively want to keep anyone with a cord. In fact, when people tell you, when my lovely teenage boyfriend for I don't remember how many years, I kept getting this thing, you let him get away. I'm like, what? He wasn't my dog. I didn't know love was on a leash. I have a door. He can come and go as he pleases. That's the whole point of being people who know what till death do you part, sickness, and anyone, monogamy couples who talk about polyamory as unfaithful. Now that's funny because you obviously don't know what polyamory means. And then you obviously don't know what it looks like when you're meeting people like, no, loving more? No. Fucking yes. But that's because it means nothing to me. That's the only time somebody's doing like LinkedIn. That means that they actively have no pleasure in a way that is completely 100% there. Just saying, there's a whole difference when you are not 100% there and it's just a piece of flesh. Let's not remind each other of awful experiences. And yes, awful experiences. A tree has more life than a man who's lifeless because they didn't go to get good therapy. And what year was it? Yeah, it was, we were in enough of the present for them to have the acknowledgement of they could have gone to good therapy. And I now know exactly what this human being needs, and I hope they find it one day. So back to Dr. Daniel Siegel as he shares the freedom it is, and as I'm sharing with you, no ill will. It's beautiful to grow more loving. Thanks, Jesus and God. Oh, and integrity. It's called I tell you to your face, but not if it's going to offend you, because I learned if you can't say something nice, say nothing. And men have told me that they really have a hard time accepting when they're not good in bed. I'm not joking. So, you learn how men don't grow up and learn how to get it together with each other and then be able to actually be badass, like with women too, though. The fact that you don't allow yourselves to tell someone, don't treat me like an object. Yeah, I've heard women say, well, no, that's part of how they do things. No, it's not. That's objectifying. It reminds me of our ancestors. I don't appreciate, what was it? Yes, torture chamber shit is how I call it. So any woman or man or they that keeps watching awful porn and all that other stuff. But what makes me laugh is when I see women who go on the screen. Women, remember your men. they're they're going polyamory on you because they're watching porn, and that's humorous. And that one really got me. I'm like, wow, which women are following that chick? So there's plenty of them. Like, who's following IHP? Well, it's a bunch of people who are laughing with me, that's for sure. Okay, let's get back to Dr. Dan. So the hub, which is from this wheel of awareness, is amazing. I realized that I have completely lived my entire life in this hub without knowing it. And that's because I have integrated brain, and that's because I got a child-centric environment. Also, though, as a mystic. Yeah, we'll wait for that one. The hub is freedom and possibility. And he shares certain plateaus imprisoned people. Yes, Dr. Dan. The sentence, this is my way of living, and I'm not going to try anything else. And that's every teenager who then gets taught how to become more flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. And so they get to become more fun, not more. No, Maria, men and women, they don't want love. Yeah, okay, and they. Sure, teenager who apparently didn't understand that some people did not go to learn how to love their self first, and they can always go because becoming their self got paused. There's a solution for every human being out there. It's called good therapy. And then when they're there, they can come over here for spiritual self-help, personal development, and actual spirituality. The Elsa Journey Mantle, they like doing their thing. So because of earthquakes, volcanoes, and everything, demons are coming out of the earth. Just remember that. You're going to find a 4D somewhere telling you how plasma, star seeds, and they make it out to star people being special. I keep telling a star person, we're humans. You do realize your human makeup is what you want to use. Can you stop talking about us like we're technology? Those are the funny people. And then they say science is taking away our humanity. Oh my gosh, so many inconsistencies. Okay, so as our lovely Dr. Dan continued, energy flow is the movement from possibility, which is in the plane. So when you're in the hub and so here at IHP, we deal with uncertainty, unwanted, unexpected from our hearts. They're open because we have ease with uncertainty. I know, right? Don't change my room. I'll tell you, leave my room alone. Allow me to play with my thoughts and emotions, and you're going to find a blank canvas again, again, again. This is a Fibonacci brain that you see. So divine feminine, Rabbi, we don't keep men or masculines or feminine, no one. Only the ones who are selectively smart enough to keep up with our high, and that means enlightenment. It means love. You're always on. In fact, if you're off, I'm going to notice, and you're going to be like, I'm going to like, ah, that ran out real quick. What happened? Oh, I see. That man broke up. That woman broke up. Oh, wait, they didn't get that money. Oh, look, God didn't do that for them. Oh, wait, that one didn't get. So basically, a whole 3-year-old heart notices every time anyone turns their back on unconditional love, pure consciousness, Purusha, or God. I remember being taught how anytime you get something you don't like, ow, I stubbed my toe, it's God's fault. Wow, that was really easy. That's why we don't lose anyone, by the way. It's not protection. I don't need protection from people who need to get supported and helped. Okay, so with that, let's move forward a little bit more. Presence, attunement, resonance, and trust. This is exactly what you see here, and it's a mindful, self-help, spiritual mentor, not a therapist. But if you want a mindful therapist, the ones who learned from Dr. Dan and they don't have any trauma charges, and they're healed, they're the good option. So they know EMDR, child parts work, and somatics means they know that you're an infinite possibility, like Sadhguru will tell you. So that's what we are here. That's why we heal trauma one person and relationship at a time. We're not actively harboring any resentment. It's called the land of no ill will because equanimity is where you can get to. It means unflappability. It means neutrality. It means you don't have a chip on your shoulder. And in fact, you're not a limited piece of consciousness or narrow, which are really unimpressive. Their energy is unimpressive. Their creatorship is unimpressive. Their voice sounds like the very emblem of whatever it is they're representing. And don't get me started on when they try to make sense with their little Hansel and Gretel, like breadcrumb trails, because my brain's already like, oh, that's so cute. Now, when I'm impressed, they were going to know that I'm impressed. You know why? Because I'm like, I'm impressed. I'll tell them. That's what you do when you are impressed by women, men, and days. When you're not, we don't give away our secrets. It's not nice to be not nice. But when we don't want to be around you, we will consistently let you know. And when you make it your mission to come and point out that we have not acknowledged you, but you're a 50-year-old plus human being, and you're drunk and you are actively out in the open, and I am now in a position where I know how to handle my panic attacks in public so that I may not ruin the mood, I guess I'm going to have the possibility, thank you so much for doing the same. And in fact, the one thing I did the minute I got spotted, I was like, shit, they caught me, damn it. Now what do? I don't know how to answer. And I still think at that moment, I was like, damn, you were not quick enough, Maria. Next time. I hope there's not a next time because, you know, it's a sad story when a 50-year-old man, 3 years after of consistently ignoring them, they actively have the capacity as they're drunk to tell you anything, and their two friends figured it out and they didn't. And it's called passive aggressive. That's not aggressive. It's not even passive. It's more like, wow, my gosh, I don't know. Actually, no, I do know, but you don't want to go to therapy. And apparently you don't want to make use of the person that you're married to, the job you have. I mean, gosh, you got so much stuff going for you, and yet here you are making yourself out to be miserable for no other reason except for, oh, let's go watch some shitty movies, shall we? Hangover, Mean Girls, anyone? That's what life is all about, really. I see, that is what life is all about, huh? No, not really. But it's not a rude person either. See, that's the part. He wasn't rude. He wasn't passive aggressive. It was more like, he caught me. Damn it. Oh, wait, I get to have fun. Let me try and get away from him some more and watch him pinpoint me until we have to end once again where we started. We're not going to become friends. And that's how it went. And then they finally figured it out. Yes, except for they did some other passive aggressive shit the next time I got to see them. That's humorous to say the least. I acknowledged them with my head. Now they're happy. They made their point. I guess they taught me some manners. They taught me how to be a man. That's the part that gets me. That this human being thinks they taught me manners. And others would say, well, why didn't you tell them? Because you don't tell Cuscos. They're donkeys. They're drinking Kool-Aid. They think it's water. I'm not fooled. I know when I see a donkey that is not going to hear anything that comes out of your mouth. Stephen Porges, come on in. It's called they are in their safety behavior, and they have first 3 years of their life and their first 8, unconscious. It's not nowhere to be found. There's a 16-year-old ruling the house. That's why they got an attitude and they think they're badass. And that's why they're not. An active fight response is a safety behavior. It's a narrow piece of consciousness. You're going to notice it because it's a low self-esteem, passive aggressive, manipulative. They think they're manipulating their words and playing in a way that they think is harmony, apparently. Again, I'm not fooled. I'm humored, to say the least. When you actively impress me, I'm going to let you know that you've impressed me because it'll be impressive. And this is not about grandiosity. Grandiosity, oh, they're unimpressive. They start speaking out of their assholes real soon. And then you're wondering how many people will notice the assholishness that's coming out of their mouth. I wonder. Okay, so you let go of judging. Yes, we don't judge. We just have very, very intricate and rainbowish opinions, as you can tell. And people think we play with words on purpose to mask something. No, we are actively Krishna Lila, the divine feminines, the actual divine feminines. We have fun again, equanimity, no ill will. It's more like, wow, that's another Kuzco over there. Oh, look, they think they're badass. Oh, look, they think they're a power couple. Oh, look, there's a Venus, a goddess, and May thinking she's growing more smart by the minute. She's just more fancy, more like the Olympians on that mountaintop, far away. In fact, they're so far away from the ground that they don't even know what they're doing anymore, but I do. Okay, I'm having a good time. Are you? This is a new moon energy with a Leo, and it's all about love. And love, what is love? Well, love is actually very free and fun. It's always on a high. So when a person achieves this lovely state, as you can tell, with Dr. Daniel Siegel, with Sadhguru, on your own, however it is, with therapist, I got to be here just because I got lucky. Twin, mom, family, decency, Jesus, anyone. I don't feel it's a special gift to have fun in life. I actually love how to explain it, like a 5-year. You have 3 years of your first 3 years. It's all implicit memory. Get home to your first 3 years, you'll find out why I'm like this. And here's where it's called pure awareness. That's the state the brain is in, and that's when most uncertainty comes up, and you're open. So when I'm in uncertainty, the one thing I always am facing is, I don't want to physically die. I don't want to be with you stars. I already know what it's like. So can I just stay here? And then I remember Marcus Aurelius, who taught me how not to worry about it. Okay, so we can let go of needing certainty. That's when you get to be in this present and presence. And FYI, for those who do have a challenge, if you're still having fun with us, there's good therapists, okay? And that's really for serious people. You don't have to stay in hell in your body. You can get somewhere. And as you're healing, then you meet people who are also getting somewhere. And they're not the ones who are telling you with all of their rigidity to go no contact and to block people and to not meet your exes and da. No, they're telling you actively, get healed, get with people who appreciate you, spend your 24 hours like a human being, know that you are worthy and know that you are not your parents, your childhood trauma, that no one is. And this whole Lucifer, stop blaming Lucifer, stop blaming the devil, stop blaming any of those stories, please, unless you want to be with the flat earthers. Go, be my guest. Go with the flat earthers. Because see, again, I'm a mystic. I began with Jesus and faith, and however you want to word it. The blaming of what is basically a human being who needs a therapist, it's pretty straightforward. Michael Stone, forensic criminologist. He has a lovely scale, 1 to 22. They're all in there, including the 7 to 14 charming, who are only charming to the dumbasses who don't notice that their charm is charming and rubbing off because of their 14-month-old. Oh, I like that grown up. With a 16-year-old who thinks they know everything. It's really interesting. I don't know everything. That's why nobody can know everything. You see? It's not selflessness. It's, if I don't know everything, you don't know everything. And you're playing with words, and I know how to play with words, but I'm having fun, and what are you doing? I'm not having fun anymore. What happened? I'm a 3-year-old. What are you? And that's when you meet the 16-year-old who's spiting the 3-year-old and the 1-year-old, but really they're spiting the grown-up who didn't give them what I got. I got a hug. And then I like to hug people. And that's why I ask, do I have permission to hug you? And if they say yes, then I hug them. So the presence you bring allows you to become a part of the system that is present a joining process that is active, not controlling, but permitting, letting go of your filters, joining in a way that allows you to become a part of the complex system that you are not in charge of. And then he says, I have the privilege of getting out of my way and being an active provider to let the innate aspect of a complex system to release its drive for optimal self-organization, faces ways, flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. He's explaining what it's like when you're finally in this hub and with yourself in consistent consciousness, which is something Sadhguru doesn't know how to explain to you with the psych education, but Dr. Daniel Siegel does. In fact, if you want, take his course on change and consciousness. I loved it. And I love him. And then there's other courses that are also interesting. But this one might be appealing to any of you who do know how to unconditionally love yourself. And therefore, you can use his hub and wheel of awareness. And then you can come back here for doing stuff with your woo-woo lady. We do self-help and personal development. I'll be integrating his wheel of awareness because it's really great for people who are looking to be their self. So how to get the blockage to the differentiation or linkage or both? People who don't have integration, they're the ones who are, things come up that are emotional, and you have, however, whatever your age is, your first 16, these are charged states. If you don't uncharge them, you still got to work with that stuff first. Once you uncharge them, you'll know, oh, look, I'm a grown-up. How fun, I can have emotional relationships. Oh, look, I can cry in front of people and not be embarrassed. I can have a panic attack. I can be a mystic. I can be polyamorous. I can be whatever I want. And I'm not going to be like, oh my God, they don't like me. When I've seen grown-ups react to science's people who call us woo-woo, because, I mean, a mystic, come on. I'm like, whoa. I mean, I know it's not true, but come on. Really, how old are you? Why are you still getting offended? Don't you know how to have a sense of humor? And I don't even get jokes. And I know when people, there's this one person, sometimes they get a bit pissy in their pants. They have a lot of things that they're working with. I hope that they make it out alive, that their inner child does. But there are moments where they get a bit upset. And so when people are upset, they like to throw quote unquote cheap shots, and they're not cheap. They're not even shots. Again, the lack of creativity that comes from narrow consciousness. I can tell you all about it because the tone is a one tone when it comes to cheap shots. The way of phrasing it so that you can try and get underneath someone's quote unquote skin is another. And in fact, if there's a group of people that I have yet to differentiate and distinguish effectively, but it's because I have no interest in interacting with them, are the ones who actively formulate phrases in a way to nitpick so that they can get a rise out of someone. And those are called trolls. Yes. But I have smart people who educate me, and all I need is one educator that's smart enough to explain to me something, and then I'm like, yep, I had spotted that because my gut was good enough to understand it. And since I'm not triggerable, I actively was able to reformulate myself. So, thanks, though, for letting me know. That way the next time I'll be able to remember what I saw the first time. That's how a Fibonacci brain and an infinite consciousness, this is expanding brain. It's not smarts, it's just I'm an observer, I'm aware, I'm accountable. Oh, look, they said something. My gut says, ding, 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 something's off here. We don't have to do anything about it, though. We can observe. This is presence. Thanks, Dr. Dan. So when you're a guitar string and I'm a guitar string, your vibe and my vibe, they're going to meet each other. Difference is I have no shame button. So I'm not doing anything with the intent to get a rise out of you. I'm actively participating with Krishna Lila. Curious, open, accepting, and loving. You're not really doing anything after all. You're not touching me at all with your hands, because I'd be running out if you even dare come near me with your hands in any way that I will say no. No. Your mouth, I'll just say no. I don't know who you're talking to. It ain't me. I'm not really sure. And if you do say something along the lines of, how dare you, you offend me, I will stand. I will gracefully apologize at a certain point for sure. And then I'll say, been a pleasure to meet you. I think that we can agree to disagree and not really be in the same room. Thank you so much. Sayonara. That's how it works when you have active, healthy self-worth. And you find it humorous, to say the least, that people don't know how to go get good therapy. And then they think they're badass because they know how to have an attitude. I think it's badass to know how to not have an attitude, how to actively use your brain, and that's because your optimized system is your mammalian heritage and mine. It's not a special gift, it's your actual physiology, unless you don't believe in sciences. Now, if you don't believe in sciences, then you know what? I guess we're out of luck. So there's that. You can go blame some story, right? Blamers. You know what blamers are? They're still in a brain that is leading with the left mode. That's the shame cycle. They have fault, blame, spite, revenge. Again, not creative. And oh, by the way, the safety behavior is not creative because you're in a wheel and you're not actively participating from here. Your smart brain. This is not a smart brain. It's an instinctive one. It's instinctive to save you, keep you physically safe. So whatever mannerisms Cusco learned, in fact, if you go watch Emperor's New Groove, you'll see why Cusco is essentially what he is, and then how he learns from Pacha. Anybody remember the first scene where he breaks his toy and there's 10 hands that give him everything? So, you know, it is a 3-year-old world, and then again, it's not. No, it is. I'm a 3-year-old right now. Just I'm a grown-up in my prefrontal cortex. So this one stays online only when I need it. No, my panic attacks, sometimes that's when it comes online, but it's okay. We get used to that one. It's called our energy body expands as the ascension energies come in. Oh, we don't lose people, by the way. No, we don't lose anything. We grow more loving, more kind, more compassionate. It's only the teenagers like, show yourself. I'm dying to meet you. I'm so special. And I am part of the 144,000, and I am part of the twin flame journey, and I am part of the plasma people. And they come up with all these beautiful names, the in groups, the out groups. So we're a group too. We're called infinite higher human conscious potential people. Come have fun with the people who want to have fun with other people. Okay, so we do heal trauma one person at a time. It's called you can have secure attachment. You're a shit. You know that? I'm a shit. We're all shit. Oh, I love it. I love bringing sciences and spirituality together. So a divine feminine can tell you we're impressed by people who choose love. We are unimpressed with people who choose fear, with people who consistently accentuate pain. I do know that there are those who come out of pain. You know what I also know? That they're not talking about it like that. The only ones who are talking about it like that are with the Zen master who talks about his very own emotions as laundry. So that's still a person who hasn't done enough resiliency, and they are a Zen master. And I'm like, it's interesting. That word, Zen. You have laundry. Where's your Zen master? I mean, don't you want to be Zen, or are you copying your own Zen master? Therefore, you're really the regurgitation of the material that you read, and then you didn't actively bring your heart up to par. So I'm going to say there's an imbalance. There's a lacking divine feminine from within you, divine masculine, which is also why we're unimpressed by divine masculine or masculines or divine feminines that don't have their divine masculines. Oh yeah, let's not go there. Okay, so when you see chaos, you know the squirrel from Cusco land? Yeah, those are the divine feminines. They lose it. They actually insult people. They get in their faces. They do a lot of things, and that's the angry circuit. And it's not impressive. No. Ladies, gents, it's not impressive to see any person who is in their biologically rude state. Thank you, Stephen Porges. It means they need a good therapist so they can work on their unresolved trauma. So anytime you meet reactivity, please do remember, there are those who make it sound fancy. Neuroscience, mindfulness, I bring it all together. It's called decent human being who knows how to work their emotional plane and mental plane. I got a left, I got a right. I got a whole heart. I got lucky dough. I got a child-centric environment. In fact, as I was sharing, Dr. Dan says, it's great, Maria. At 3 you were already a differentiated self. As I informed the one caregiver, you can't spank me, it's my body. And she still spanked me. And then I went and I made my suitcase, but I couldn't leave. But I still wasn't fear-mongered, so I was still allowed to make my suitcase. And then the other primary caregiver, they confused me, and I paused, and I waited 3 times. That's what I usually do. It's 3. 3 is a magic number, because I'm going to say, maybe you said it wrong the first time. Maybe you still don't. Okay, you have me confused with the other one of me. It's not me, though. So I got called my twin sister's name, and I waited 3 times before correcting the biological father. And I said, I'm Maria. And that's a differentiated self, and it didn't get lost. So I got lucky with a mother and a twin. I'm not kidding. And then I got lucky with Jesus and God. But see, I don't have to bring in Jesus and God because they're my resources. Some people, they won't have that. And what I can bring to you, though, is Dr. Daniel Siegel, Bezel Vanderkolk, Peter Levine, Stephen Porges, and Diane Heller, Julianne, Janina Fisher, Patrick Tiahan, Terry Rio, how many more? Dr. Albert Wong, Sue Martin. Who else? Who else? I know I'm forgetting some of you. Pat Ogden. Let's not forget Pat. She's awesome. And a buttload more of those lovely saints. Dr. Daniel Fox. Let me not forget you. Oh, let me not forget Kylie, who's healing from narcissism borderline. And there's another dude who's also healing. And Kylie's boyfriend from sociopathy. Smart human beings, loving human beings. How many more can I bring on? Well, a buttload. So when you do know, here, I'm going to bring him on. We help people to go back in time, not to relive their experiences, which is re-traumatizing, but to go back in time to change their experiences, to get in touch and give compassion to their younger self. Howard Schubiner, MD. So, long story short, divine feminines, we know that people, we all have an inner child. Some of us don't lose our inner child because we got lucky, and others do. And when they get lucky too, it's because they got informed through the year it is 2024 of what good therapists are. Now, the thing is, we want to create educational material. There's bad therapists out there. I keep hearing about them. So there's bad therapists, like there's bad spiritual. And the bad is not bad in that casting of a stone. No, they are ineffective. Bad means you're faulty. You're not effectively doing your job. Because see, if you want to tell me you're going to help people, and you don't know what people are made of, so you don't know the first 3 years of life, you don't know any of the update, if you don't stay updated with any information and you're telling me you want to help a person, well, the people are not the ones who are going to be expected to learn about their self. And I'll use me. So in my personal opinion, I have scoliosis. And I feel strongly about the complete disservice that I was given, even though I had been given, luckily, a good set of people who worked with me throughout my years of development. And so my back got pretty good with whatever they gave me as a back brace, But my point is, I found out at a certain age that my back wasn't going to stay in what I had been told. You know why I remember? Because I don't like to do physical activities. I asked specifically the doctors that were leaving me, okay, you don't need it anymore. I said, so do I have to do physical exercises to stay healthy? And they said, no, you don't have to do anything. And then I got back spasms. And then I was scared. And then he's awesome, my osteopath. But he has a bit of an attitude. So when I got to him in the shape I got, he basically yelled at me. And then there was a lady. Now, see, this lady, she was rude. Because not only was she not my doctor, but she also effectively used wording that was completely inappropriate, if you ask me. But no need for me to, again, speak to biologically rude human beings, because I don't want to waste my breath. So I'm talking to my osteopath, and she chimes in, what are you, stupid? Which I completely ignore, because I know how to ignore those who are rude human beings who I have nothing to say to you, because I won't waste my breath on you. You actively just showed me not only you're not a professional, you don't even know how to be a human. And really, if I am stupid, which I am, of course, I'm not the subject matter expert. Let me ask, how do you think a person is supposed to know? It's your job, not my job. I'm a human. I'm a random human being who's walking the planet. I chose not to learn about backs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, my opinion, no, I'm not stupid. You're the person who obviously chimed in where you didn't have to. I already knew my osteopath and his attitude because he did some other stuff. But my point is, when I found out about the Schroth method, which is something that helps, and this is the other part of where all these subject matter experts with their little egos, instead of working together, not all of them, but there are those who will not welcome all of different types of methodologies to help a person with their back. That's bullshit. You're supposed to all get together, bring together your brains, and then help us. Versus you say, no, you get operated, you get this, you get that. You're all divisive, and you're not helping anyone, except for those of us who do care about our optimized health. We're going to go and make sure to work with the people who are smart enough to integrate and give us the information. So you do know the people who want to help because they will be helpful. In fact, I met another osteopath who is a lot more helpful and a lot more all-inclusive than the first one that I had. And then I met someone who does Stroth method. So now I know how to take care of my back, and I know exactly what to expect and da-da-da-da. But why did I bring this in? Because a person who is a consultant of any type, they want to tell me I'm going to help a person. If you don't know about attachment trauma and you don't know about anything of the updated stuff, then I don't know what you're doing. I just do know that I met this dude once. Oh, I love when I have these stories. So this person who, with his lovely little girlfriend, and I say little to mean narrow pieces of consciousness, because when you meet limited human beings and they think that they actively know shit, you know, that attitude gets them in a place of mannerisms. But it's really more of the way that it's like when I was a teenager. Any one of you who was a teenager, I'm sure you remember exaggerating. I remember I still exaggerate sometimes, and I try to spot myself. So I was excitedly sharing news with a person who had told me they wanted to help people. And as I'm finishing up sharing with them Stephen Porges and somatics and everything that I learned in these recent years, they say to me, I have a gazillion million, this absurd number of ways to contest you. Now I know. I'm curious because, wow, I mean, I was excited. Now I'm curious because you have all these ways to contest something that I learned from all these experts, and you just have a small psychology degree and not 30 plus years, you know. So I'm like, you know, since you're leaving, plus I didn't have time for the number the person gave me, but since you're leaving and you have all these ways to contest what I just shared, which was helpful to me to know how to continue helping people, I'm curious. How is it that you would help a person with childhood trauma that is not wanting to lay down because their body actively does not want to lay down? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff you don't know right now. Person, they look at me and they say, describe first. I'm going to wear my little bow tie. Now I know I have a person who made their parents happy, because you're just describing to me what you look like. I have my little bow tie in my office with my notepad and my glasses, and you are on the table. No, you're on a bed and you're laid down, and you come to me 3 times a week and I take notes and I tell you, and I'm like, wow. And somebody who is smarter than me. See, I don't know who he's describing. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, you're a performance and you're an act, and I can't even believe you think that you're helping people. You and your little girlfriend out there, you seem like 2 cheeks in a pot, or whatever that word is. And somebody smarter than me is like, they must have done Freudian, da-da-da. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because, you know, I totally could see that. And in fact, when I digged a little bit deeper, yes, their background in schooling was that. But this is to say, that's not a person who wants to help people. That's a person who's a narrow piece of consciousness. They'll help some people, yes. The people who agree with them. In the meantime, I'm thinking that's not going to help a person who does have that childhood trauma stuff, because you are having them feel uneasy, because that's what they're going to feel as they lay down. And they're not going to be effective. They're not going to leave having done anything different, especially when you've negated that their body is a part of the equation. You've completely negated. It's not even that they left room for what was being shared. They said, no, this is off the books. If you're all exclusive for other pieces of information, you are a person who's blinded like a horse, and you don't even hear yourself. So again, when we have that, those are not divine feminines. Those are divine masculines for divine feminine. A divine feminine, though, has her own divine masculine. This is why we know we don't know everything. So we're going to hear with open ears, which is why we wait. Once, twice. Okay, I heard you well the first time. Now I'm going to make my statement, and I'm going to course you if need be. Obviously, here's where we don't correct people about who they're going to be. We're not here to affect states of consciousness. No. You have a consciousness. I have a consciousness. My name's Maria. What's your name? It's a pleasure to meet you. So on this lovely new moon day, love, it's easy. It's you be you, I be me. I accept you, you accept me. Oh, I won't manipulate you in any way that involves what those human beings who don't know how to use their words do. Doesn't matter how fancy prancy they get. But FYI, when you meet unkindness, it's not because of the Lucifer evil button. It's the shame button, and it's called they could get good childhood trauma therapy. If you're smart enough to hear it, then you're going to be smart enough to be an observer of yourself, aware, accountable, and regulate, which means you also don't hang out with people who don't have anything to add that is loving, because, life is short. Why would you be around people who don't know how to self-regulate yet? Who don't want to learn? It's called they want to be those who are low self-esteem and direct communicators, passive aggressive. They don't know healthy boundaries. They're boring to people who want to help people to come together. No, when people are divisive, religion, beliefs, politics, they're yelling at each other in their faces. Yeah, it's called people who don't know how to talk. If you come to me and insult me because I don't believe in what you believe in, it won't be an insult. It will be something very different inside of me. I will be with my quiet mouth once again, because I learned if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all and look at my face. I actively will know how to be a Krishna Lila with a Shiva and a Kali and say, I'm speechless. I literally will. It's not a frozen response. Is I don't want to speak words. There are no words to spell out to you how unimpressed I am, because it's unimpressive to meet a grandiose, low self-esteem human being who doesn't even notice their reactivity the minute it happens. Not to mention the ones who do, they will actively apologize, by the way, when they do know that they didn't want to. And this has happened. So I have had people who they've had their moment and they recognize it and they apologize in a way. It's always nice that you can have a conversation. That's what an apology is for people who are divine feminines and divine masculines. It's called a 5D human being who uses their brain. We don't think you owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. It's called we're all flawed and perfect, and we can all have integrity to understand also with a flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain that we have different ways of lifestyle. So, world hasn't really changed. It's gotten a little bit louder. We get to see all of those who are in the narrow consciousness sphere, and then if you want, you come on over here and we have the infinite consciousness sphere. I love social media. It brings people together for social time, fun. And then for spiritual, obviously self-help over here, and social time as well with our different subject matters and our different topics, and we have fun. Lovely new moon. I hope you're having a great day. We'll be back again with more. See you soon.